Now, to discuss these developments more, we are joined by Pierre Khoury, a prominent political writer and researcher with extensive expertise in Middle Eastern affairs. Thank you for being on our program. I'll start with, what significance does Joseph Borrell's visit hold for Lebanon?
Good evening. Yes, Joseph Borrell concluded his tour, a tour that has included Jordan and Cyprus and Lebanon. He held bilateral meetings with Prime Minister Mikati, Speaker Berry, and the Lebanese Armed Forces Aoun, and also the United Nations representative. The discussion centers on the escalating military tension in southern Lebanon and the broader regional implication. Borrell retaliated the EU call for sustainable ceasefire and long-term peace process based on the two-state solution. Again, likewise, what he did is in Jordan, he reassured the European viewpoint about the two-state solution in Lebanon. And I think Europeans believe that this efforts for ceasefire in Lebanon might help the overall process for the solution for the Palestinian issue and the whole turbulence in the Middle East.
What do you make
Borrell,
of sorry, you don't continue, sorry.
Borrell underscored the EU commitment to supporting diplomatic efforts aimed at escalation and promotion of comprehensive peace process in the Middle East. His engagement with regional leaders and civil society organizations reflect the EU proactive approach in addressing the complex challenges facing the region. In general, Europeans now are very afraid of the risks related to the escalation in the between Israel and Lebanon, and believe that such risk might destroy the whole peace process in the Middle East.
And I want to come to the EU's role here, but what do you make of the recent rocket attack on the UNIFIL base, and how does this impact Lebanon's internal stability?
There is something weird in what went with the Italian peacekeepers serving with the United Nations interim force in Lebanon. And two rockets of 122 millimeters. And what I heard is that the Italians put responsibility on Hezbollah in this. I can see that it adds up, especially after the position of Italy to arrest Mr. Netanyahu and Mr. Gallant as a result of the decision by the International Criminal Court. I don't see it adds up politically. What I can say that there is a chaos there. In southern Lebanon now there is a chaos, and nobody knows who's exactly where. I think this is the problem, for sure, for the Italians to say that these rockets were launched from an area where Hezbollah is dominating might be possible, but at the same time, nobody knows who's there, who's not there anymore.
And given the current state of hostilities, how effective can the EU's mediation efforts be in reaching a ceasefire?
Sir, I think there is a certain structure for the ceasefire. Everything starts with the United States. Whenever there is a positive opportunity, the United States might ask for European help. I don't think Europeans have the power to move alone and to put in place any accord without the leadership of this without the United States leadership. This is true not just now. This is true for the whole developments in the Middle East in the last 40 years. And I think this is still true. Now we need to see the pressure that the United States is putting on both Israel and Lebanon and the other regional power involved in this escalation of armed activities.
And Mr. Khoury, how do you assess Lebanon's leadership? Of course, figures like the caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati and General Joseph Aoun. How are they dealing with this crisis, do you think?
I think Commander Aoun is not part of the political elite and the leadership, the political leadership. Still, he is a prime employee for the Lebanese government. The assessment should take place when we look at the behavior of both Mikati and Speaker Berri. I think these are now the two persons who are in charge for dealing with the crisis. These people are negotiating with Hezbollah at the same time, negotiating with Mr. Hochstein, and they are running the whole show. Mr. Aoun, on the other hand, might have a role in the future, depending on the kind of settlements that may take place for the issue on the border.
Okay,
but for now, I don't.
Thank you very much. I'm afraid we're just out of time, but we definitely got your points there, Mr. Khoury. Pierre Khoury, who is an expert in Middle Eastern affairs. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.